As everyone know and realize, probably about a month ago, well, actually, let me back up, 3 years ago, almost, we started a journey uh, to make this department a great department. I have no bones about it that we have done that successfully, and we're continuing to do that. We work hard every night and day to make sure that this department function, and I think the proof is in the pudding. That it shows because we have a dramatic reduction in crime, violent crime is low, and officer morale has been high, and we've been fully staffed. What I didn't realize is while doing that, I focused and concentrated on more than I should have from a business standpoint. I am a law enforcement officer, but I forgot that I also have a family. I can tell you that over a month ago, I began to realize that things were eating at me. Unless you do this job in law enforcement, you don't realize what type of impacts you have on you from a personal standpoint. I'm a man that's a Marine, but in the Marine Corps, we knew when we were going to war. As law enforcement and public safety, police and fire, your life changes by the hour. And I can tell you that until recently, and I'll be honest with you, because I want this department to go back to work. And I don't want the focus on Chief Scott or Randy. So that's why I chose to come to make the statement so the city can get back to work on what's important. And so I can get back to work on what I've been doing. There were things that I didn't realize that bothered me. And not until recently, I realized what that was. In law enforcement, it is unlike any other job of public safety, I should say, where when you lose someone, it is not somewhat like losing a family member, but it is exactly, or sometimes more than that. Because we spend more time with each other than we spend with our own families. But there were, prior to coming to the city, there was a young man named Keith Cannon that I hired, that was young, full of energy. And on May the 5th, at 12 o'clock, 2005, we was leaving the police officers' memorial. And that's an ironic day. Because 2 hours later, that same young man that I hired and had a lot of reservations about the job that I put him in, died. I think he worked for the department about a year and a half. And only after going through counseling, I realized that's what it was. Because you shouldn't hire someone and then look down in a car and see that person deceased. And I'm still consistently in touch with his mother, who I call Mama now, because that was something that I couldn't let go. That affected me personally, continuously. So I know the secret was trying to find Waldo for the last 3 weeks. But that's where I've been. I don't hold it as a secret now because I thought coming up here to tell you about the impact of what happens to police officers may A, aid other officers in public safety that go through these troubles, and B, enlighten the community on the stresses that we go through. I'm a law enforcement officer and I will be back in law enforcement. But I finally have to take this time for me so I can be the person that I am personally, and so I can come back and be a stronger person that I've been. I will tell you that I stand here because I wanted to. I requested to be able to come to talk to you because I need you to know that these men and women at the Columbia Police Department are the most professional, hardworking that the city will ever get. And I don't want that detracted from what I'm going through personally. So they call it PTSD. You can call it stress, but I have to call it what it is. And it was something that was tearing me apart for a very long time. So I want to thank everyone in the Columbia Police Department. I want to thank the Mayor, City Council, Sheriff Lott for the support that they've shown me through this time. So I beg of you to let me complete what I've started and to allow this department to continue doing the great work that I don't have to convince you of, but doing the great work that they are doing. Once I complete it, I will come back and I will detail for you a lot more, because I think it would be selfish of me if I didn't share this with the community, with the law enforcement community, because if I went through it, anybody can. But thank you for all of the wonderful support and phone calls that I've received. And I will close by saying that every time you see a person in public safety, don't discredit them. Don't take it for granted, because they are literally sacrificing their families, but more importantly, when sometimes they don't realize it, they're sacrificing themselves.